こそ。
はい。Hey, I'm Keith the Traveller. It's great to be back and welcome to Tokyo, this vlog all about Tokyo. Now, one of the main areas that people first flock to when they come to Tokyo is Shiburya, the main area where it's famed for its three-way pedestrian crossing, general craziness of neon lights, worth checking out. However, for me personally, my favourite part was a little bar called the Jazz Blues Bar. It's about a 5-minute walk away from the main station, heading away up on the second floor. There you'll find this old guy who happily just plays his records all night long while serving you ice cold beer. Spaces are limited and therefore also as well, he's not particularly chatty when it comes to the music, so be a bit careful if you're expecting to ask him all about his tunes and music. He just won't have it. So the plan is just go there, sit there, have a beer and enjoy. It's definitely really well worth it. So one of the things to do to escape the metropolis that is Tokyo is to actually come to Shinjuku Garden. So Shinjuku Garden became an emperor's palace in around about 1902, and then in 1949 was open to the public, we can see behind me today. Some of the top things to do around here is go into the greenhouse, check that out as well. Loads of lakes to look at, Japanese natural gardens, basically have a wander around, escape the city, see what's going on. Although my top tip, if you want a really top tip, one of the things to do in Shinjuku Park is to take a break and grab yourself an ice cold cup of green tea. The verdict, if you love drinking cold, wet seaweed, get involved. Right, so as I'm a craft beer lover, I feel like I need to give you another top tip about where to come in Tokyo for your craft beer. So this bar is called the Watering Hole. And it's literally a 2-minute walk from Yogi station. Here they've got a great selection of Japanese cask and keg beers, as well as a superb collection from the UK, such as Wylam, Northern Powerhouse collection. So if you want to come and have a top beer, such as this New England IPA, which is called the New Susu, something like that, from a brewery in Hokkaido, come and check out the Watering Hole. One of the things, of course, to do is to grab yourself a sushi. And what better way to do it than in such a modern city than to do it by a modern screen. Essentially what you do is, these people behind me, you basically sit down, order what you want, and then it will turn up in a conveyor belt, and then before you know it, your food is delivered or it whizzes past you, and you're done. Japanese efficiency at its best. So one of the things I'd recommend doing when you come to Tokyo is to try these sort of like deep fried pork balls with potatoes and onion in. They're absolutely delicious, but as my pronunciation of Japanese is terrible, guide here is to help me out. And how do you pronounce these things?
Menchikatsu.
Definitely recommended. One of the real highlights for me was definitely going on a 3-hour e-bike tour of Tokyo City. This took place in the evening and we covered many of the main highlights that are considered around Tokyo. First of all, we went across the oldest bridge in the city, which dated back to 1608. However, it's on its 20th incarnation, so at present it's actually only 10 years old, although it is considered the centre of all of Japan and everywhere is measured from that distance. From there we cycled round the oldest part of the city where houses date back to over 100 years old, bombed round little streets for food markets, indulged in some local delicacies, saw the view from the harbour where we could see the Friendship Bridge and other such highlights. So if you're looking for something to do when you get to Tokyo that's a little bit different, I'd highly recommend hunting out doing an e-bike tour to see the city. It was such a fantastic way to get around. Now, what could be more Japanese than going to watch some sumo wrestling? The Sumo Wrestling in Tokyo was only on for the first 2 weeks in September. Definitely for me, well worth checking out. I literally had no idea what was going on with all the kind of moving about and the kind of gamesmanship that was happening between the two different wrestlers. Did have to say though, I absolutely thoroughly enjoyed it. You can see that many of the traditions are still in place, and if you get the chance, I would definitely highly recommend going to watch some sumo wrestling.